So it's actually like 2 minutes long, but I'm only gonna show you like 12 or 13 seconds of it. So you guys are gonna have to like pay attention because it's gonna go really fast. I'm gonna show you the rest of the video later, but just pay attention to what it's saying and we'll talk about it. And while you're listening, like pay attention to your thoughts and like see if you notice anything interesting and or any questions you have, and we'll talk about it. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna play it, and I might have to play it one more time because it will go so fast. Okay? Let's see, it's up there, right? Okay. Ready? Listening ears on now.
Welcome to Moo Math and Science. In this video, we will learn about the water cycle. The water we use today has been around for a long, long time. That is because water can recycle itself in the water cycle.
Woo! Okay, let's. Okay, you guys need it one more time? One more time? Okay, let's do it one more time. You need the lights off? Can someone turn off the lights for me? Okay. Ooh, listening ears on, voices off. Thank you.
Welcome to Moo Math and Science. In this video, we will learn about the water cycle. The water we use today has been around for a long, long time. That is because water can recycle itself in the water cycle.
Okay, friends. So that was like hardly anything, right? That was a tiny little clip. Yeah, like 14 seconds. So, let's turn the lights back on. Who has a question or thought about that video? Yeah, Riley, what's your thought? How long has water been around? That's a good question. Oh, Cameron, are you raising your hand? What are you saying? How does water recycle itself? Stone, this has been up for a while.
When you're drinking water, you could be drinking water that dinosaurs kept in.
Whoa, think about that for a minute, guys. The water that we're drinking, or the water that comes out of our shower, or the water that's in the Provo or the river that runs along here, the Spanish Fork River. In my town, it's Provo River. That's the same water that's been around for forever, Cade. Isn't that incredible? Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions? Dawson? Oh, let's all listen to Dawson. Wait for everybody to be focused. Great. Thank you. Yes, Dawson?
It's not really, it's just saying that I've done this, I know how it happens.
Oh, really? Okay, so you have some experience with it. So there was a word that was said, and it was recycle. Does anybody know what recycle means? Riker?
You recycle something.
Okay, so it's like kind of, I don't know if we have a recycling bin in here, but like you can recycle like cans or like plastic things. Yes, Sasha, what else? Okay, so what she says is like, if you recycle something, Edison, you're using it again. So like water, we're reusing it over and over again. Okay, so what we are going to do, thank you so much for your thoughts. That was really, really awesome. So we're going to be learning about the water cycle today, which some of you, Table 2, are familiar with, and some of you might not be familiar with. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be passing out this paper. It's a diagram of the water cycle. And in your table groups, you are going to be figuring out like the order of the water cycle. Okay, I'm not going to give you any clues. I'm going to just let you go, and you're going to have to do your best guesses. Should I say that with you to talk now? So, we have recess in about like 10 minutes. So we're just gonna see how far we can get in that time, okay? So I'm gonna pass this out to you, and you're gonna work your best in your groups. You're gonna be respectful of your group members, and just try and figure out as what, how the order of the water cycle, okay? I'm gonna put up the words that you're working with on the board. Okay, so you guys are gonna need to use these words. Okay, so I just wrote down all the words that you're going to be writing down on your diagram. So these are all the words you're going to need to use. I'll wait for everybody to be listening for instructions. Thank you. So I just wrote up the words, the vocabulary words you're going to need to write down on your diagram. So you're going to need to talk to your group and figure out where each one of these words is going to go. Because you see the little lines on your paper like this. So you're going to be filling it out. So you're going to have to talk to your group and try and figure out where
this is evaporation. How do you know that? You learned that in your grade? Yeah. At the dictionary. No noodle? Yeah, I always know about it. I know what evaporation is.
Oh,
guys, just try your best to fill out all the spaces. It's okay if it's wrong. Just try your best. What are we doing over here? Nathan's doing all the work, dude.
It's time for recess, Kate.
Awesome. Okay.
Kate, it's time for recess.
All right. It is recess time. Thank you for working on that so well. Okay, I'll wait for everybody's voices to be off. Thank you. I really appreciate how hard you guys are working on that. We're gonna come back to it right after recess, but for now I'm gonna need people to line up at the door. Let's have table 2 come up first. Table 6. Table 3. Table 5. Table 1. Table 4. Okay, friends. I have all eyes up here, arms on our desk, folded on our desk, respectful, looking for somebody, a table that can complete the halves. Voices are off, arms folded on our desk, respectful. Trey's gonna find his desk, thank you. Do I still hear voices? Okay, so we just had some time to fill out that diagram. I understand some of you maybe aren't finished, and that's okay. So what we're gonna do now is each group is going to come up to the doc cam right here, and you guys are gonna explain why you chose to put those words in the spot that you did. It's okay if you didn't finish. Honestly, I'll give you like a minute or two to like finish if you want, and it's okay if you don't know if it's right. Just put something down, make an educated guess, do your best. So I'll give you 1 or 2 more minutes to fill that out, and then we'll have you guys come up to the doc cam one by one, and you'll explain why you thought that. So be thinking of why you put it there, right? But while we're doing that, I'm gonna need everybody to be sitting in their chairs, Cameron. So when we're working together in our groups, I don't want you on your desks. I just want you like sitting in your chairs and like probably voice level at like a 2 table talk, okay? Just be respectful, and when I call you back together, I'm gonna be looking for another table to give a point to, okay? Does anybody have any questions about how this is gonna go? That was kind of a little bit lost, just a lot of things. So we're gonna have 1 to 2 minutes to work in our groups again to fill out the last few things. I'm gonna bring us back together. We're gonna present what we've written and explain our reasoning. I don't know why table 3 is having so much trouble. And then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna watch the rest of the video and see if we're correct. Got it? Okay, so right now we're table talk level of noise, and we're gonna fill out the rest of our spots. If you're done, make sure you guys know what you're gonna say when you come up to the doc cam to present to the class. Yes, Dawson? You know, we'll think about that. Okay, Cooper?
Is it just one person that goes up or 15?
Yeah. How about Okay, alrighty. So I'm gonna make a timer on my watch for 2 minutes, and in 2 minutes we'll come present them, okay? So table talk at your table. We're just waiting for I'm seeing a lot of groups who are actually done. So, class. Okay, the longer I wait is how much I'm taking out of lunch. I'm not going to be waiting that long. Table 6, I'm waiting on you. Brevin, put the book away. Friends. Okay, so I'm going to have table, we'll start from the back and go to the top. We're going to have table 6 come up and just put your paper underneath the dot cam and explain to us why you chose those answers, okay? So while table 6 is up here and each desk is up here, we're going to be respectful of our classmates and listen to them, okay? They're just going to explain to us. If you don't agree with them, that's okay. That's fine. Let's just listen to them and be respectful, okay? So table 6, come on up and explain to us what you were thinking. We're not going to be reading or fiddling with stuff at our desk. We're going to be listening to our friends because that is respectful, huh? See, is that good? It's okay if it's not spelled correctly. So is that like, let's see, let's zoom it out a little bit. Does this help? Yes, it does. Yeah, so just that and explain. So, what do you think?
We think it evaporates from the ocean and trees, then it comes up and goes into the plants. And then it rains, comes down to the river, which is called the runoff, goes back in and it circles.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, table 6. Great. Okay, table 5. We're just gonna go in order, guys, because it'll just be easier that way. Well, yeah, from the back. Going to the front. We're going backwards. All right, let's focus on our classmates. Okay. Just one of you guys can do it together. It's okay. Just do it the best you can. It's all right. Just the best explanation you can make.
I can't think of anything.
Just tell us what you wrote down then. Just go through it all.
Transportation right here. I think it's because you got the oxygen to transport it into us. So we have this molecule.
Here's the microphone for you guys to talk into.
Okay, so we have the trees and then it transportates in the clouds of oxygen.
Okay, guys, just say like what happens next. Just go through each one. You don't have to say why necessarily.
Then we put precipitated in, precipitation, and we had that going to the rainy clouds. Then then we put the condensation,
Condensation, good.
condensation, and then it would go down, and then we put both of these runoffs, because they're hills, and it sounds good. And then we were circling around, and then we put evaporation, because water's right here, and it would go back in the air. Then we put the multiplication,
Accumulation. These are big
accumulation,
words, guys, so.
and then we just circle around.
Awesome, thank you, Table 5. Guys, this is so awesome, like, it's kind of nerve-wracking to come up and share your thoughts, so. Table 4. Guys, I really appreciate how respectful you're being, thank you, that's so awesome. Okay, Table 4 is gonna present, here's the microphone. Voices are on, we're listening to Table 4.
So first we start with transportation because it will, and then the runoff, it goes down into the ocean, and then it's accumulation, and then it evaporates, and then condensation, and then once it goes again, it goes
Which word is it? What are you looking at?
and then it goes down to where the trees are, and then it evaporates, condensation, and then precipitation, and it just
Great, thank you, Table 4. Okay, now we have Table 3 come up, and while they're coming up, I'm gonna just kind of say these words out loud, because they are really hard to pronounce, okay, even for me. So, if I have everyone's attention, this is transpiration, condensation, evaporation, precipitation, runoff, and accumulation. Okay? That's totally fine. They're hard words, okay? So if you don't know them still, it's fine. Okay, so table 3 is going to help us out. Okay? Yeah. Okay, let's be respectful of our friends. Table 3 will wait for everybody to be ready because minutes take off from our lunch time if we're lazy. Okay, go ahead, table 3.
We started out with all the water, and it was accumulation, and then it evaporates, like the trees do. And then we had a transpiration,
Transpiration. Okay.
and then we had the condensation, and we did the runoff, and we did the precipitation, and then we went down.
Great. Thanks, guys. So this is how table 3 thinks that's gonna go. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Table 2, come on up. All of table 3, come on up and help out your tables. Sorry, table 2. My bad. Okay. Alright, we're all listening to table 2. Okay, go ahead, guys.
So what we did is I put accumulation here. I put accumulation here because it's like the higher you get, the more air you have, and evaporation over here does evaporate water. I put transportation on these two because there's more space and less words. So I condensation here, because like I said, condensing into different kinds of clouds. And I have no idea I have no idea about this. And then I put runoff here because water would run off into the lake or ocean.
Awesome. Thanks, Table 2. Perfect. Okay, Table 1, our last group.
So we put condensation right there, and then we put runoff right there because it's running off the mountain. Transportation right there. Accumulation right there.
Accumulation.
And evaporation on this too. And then precipitation on this.
Thanks, Table 1. Perfect. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming up and sharing what you guys wrote. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to watch, you guys remember like the 12-second little clip I showed you? Oh, it's 14, excuse me. So we're gonna watch the whole thing, and while you guys are listening to the video, compare what you wrote on your, ooh, I'll hold it for you. Thank you. You're going to compare what the video tells us about the water cycle to what you wrote on your paper. Okay? So you're going to be able to see if you were right or wrong. Okay? So be thinking about that as the video is playing, okay?
Science. In this video, we will learn about the water cycle. The water we use today has been around for a long, long time. That is because water can recycle itself in the water cycle, which is also called the hydrologic cycle. Let's start this cycle with the evaporation of water from the surface of the ocean. As this moist air is lifted, it cools and water vapor condenses. It may form clouds. In fact, clouds are made up of tiny water droplets and ice crystals that are so small they can float in the air. This moisture in the atmosphere may be transported around the globe until it returns to the surface as precipitation. Precipitation may take the form of rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Now, once this water reaches the ground, one or two processes may occur. Some of the water may evaporate back into the atmosphere, or the water may penetrate the surface and become groundwater. The groundwater may take several different paths. The groundwater may seep in its way into the oceans, river, or stream. Or it may go into an aquifer, which is a body of saturated rock through which water can easily move. Or it may be released back into the atmosphere through transpiration. Transpiration occurs when leaves from trees and other vegetation give off water vapor through pores in their leaves. Some water on the Earth's surface is not absorbed by plants or become groundwater, and it becomes surface runoff. This runoff may empty into lakes, rivers, and streams, and then is carried back to the ocean where the cycle may begin. So there we go, the basics of the water cycle. Thanks for watching, and Moo Math uploads a new math and science video every day. Please subscribe and share.
Okay. 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 So I noticed some of you guys checking your papers and kind of whispering to your friends about what you might have gotten right or wrong. So I'm just gonna kind of run through it and kind of just define what each of these words mean, okay? So, and this is different, a little bit different than what you see on your paper, but it is the same thing, water cycle, okay? So, let's see over here. So, right here, although it does not say it, this is like your little body of water down at the bottom of your paper, called accumulation, right? That was the accumulation of the water, body of the water, okay? And then right here, you can't see it, it's a little cut off, but it's evaporation. So the water evaporates from the water right here up into the atmosphere, right? Okay, so that evaporates into condensation in the clouds, right? So I saw a lot of you got that right. And then from there, the condensation turns into precipitation, which can be like rain, snow, sleet, hail, right? And then that goes down, and then there's the runoff, right? Runs off the mountains and the hills. And the groundwater was one we didn't cover, so you can just ignore that. And then right here we have transpiration, right? So we can get water that evaporates from these bodies of water below, and also water from plants and trees. So the transpiration comes up from the plants and trees to condensation and does the same thing, okay? So you can evaporate from like bodies of water, go to condensation, precipitation, all the way down, or from plants and trees and go all the way around. Does anybody have any questions about that? No. Okay, I'm gonna show you. So that was one diagram. I also did the same thing you guys did. Let's get a light on actually. So this is the same diagram that you guys did. So I can explain it this way as well. So we have our trees right here. So there's the process of transpiration from the trees, which goes up to condensation, then to precipitation. The rain falls down, then it runs off the mountain into the accumulation of the body of water, okay? And then over here, we have evaporation from the body of water, all the way up to condensation in the clouds, precipitation, rains, and then it runs down. So we kind of have these two circles here. We have a circle coming up from the trees, precipitation to like runoff, and then it repeats again, okay? And then we have this other circle over here, goes up from the body of water, evaporates, condensation, precipitation, to runoff, back again. So do you see these two circles? So it can happen in both ways. So yeah, we're going to be working with this more. Does anybody have any questions first off about that? Yeah, Connor?
Why wouldn't the transportation above the tree be evaporation?
So it is like it's like a form of like evaporation.
So transpiration, have you ever like woken up and you've seen like some dew on like a plant or something like that? Yeah, I guess when like frost kind of like melts. The sun is the energy source of the water cycle. So say there's frost on a tree, kind of like Stone was saying, and the sun comes and heats it up. Well, it's just like a body of water. When the sun comes and heats it up, it evaporates, it turns into a gas. The same thing happens with trees. That sun, it heats it up, and that gas, that evaporation, it rises and it forms clouds in condensation, okay? It cools and collects to form clouds.
Yes. Thank you. So there's a lot of big words here and a lot of more things we can do with this, and we're gonna work more on it tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna dive into more of like what these words mean and things like that. But thanks for your participation and for doing so awesome.
Alright, if you are a lunch worker, will you please line up?